Okay, we're already streaming live onto the YouTube channel. And it's high time for us to get started. It's what I would love to share. I know Royalq has a lot, but I will not share the lot. I will just pick up a few things that I believe are the most important things you are supposed to know in order for you to use your bot maximally or to maximize the profit from your bot. Basically, before I get into more details, it is important for anybody listening to me to basically understand that a Royalq provides a balanced opportunity. An opportunity that says you can be able to trade only, or you can be able to trade, but at the same time, you can also go ahead and build a team of traders. And to me, both are good. It is just up to you to decide what you want. And so every user on the call should have the capacity and the power to understand that they have a choice when using their bot to decide either to use their bot only to trade or to use their bot to build a team of traders or to do both. I love doing both, and I love that so much. And so today, I'll base my sharing to a few more steps of focus. And I will start with a major topic called the Bullrun strategy, how to use it, and how to compound your money. One of the core bases of the crypto ambassadors. Our strategy of approach to the business is seated on a strategy called the Bullrun strategy that was tested and proven to handle issues of market change drastically, to handle issues when the market changes abruptly, to protect our investors from too much floating loss or issues with the market, to handle issues of wallet management, to perfectly and proficiently protect our investors who are using the bot but working with the fastest growing team in this whole world, the crypto ambassadors, into challenges that could happen when the market changes, to ensure continuity and efficiency of their profits. And because of that, the Bullrun strategy was introduced, and the power and ability to perfectly use it for your own benefit is key and important. Ladies and gentlemen on the call, I want to inform you that the Bullrun strategy is not a gambling strategy. The Bullrun strategy was tested for 6 months before introduced. When I met one of my leaders today, I told him some of us go through things that we cannot explain. Like now, currently, I'm testing a strategy. I'm testing a strategy called the Super Bullrun strategy. We so far now have the Bullrun strategy, but I'm testing a new strategy called the Super Bullrun strategy that has led me dump into a floating loss of over $30,000. And I was asking me, why do you do this? Because I'm a leader. I want to bring something on board that has been tested. Okay, the strategy has been tested. It was started on the 1st the 1st of March. And before we introduce the strategy, our minimum approach is 4 months. And when I did it for 15 days, it produced some good rewards of over $23,000, and later it brought issues. But still, the test is on. The test is looking at how the super Bullrun strategy, how far it can go when it brings issues when someone is not making profit. But our goal and our plan is to make sure that we see how efficient it can go for 4 months. So the Bullrun strategy, before introduced to you, ladies and gentlemen, was tested for 6 months and proven to handle issues of preventing you from having huge floating loss, preventing you from issues of wallet management, bringing power and ability for you to have consistent winning trades. And so the use of the Bullrun strategy can be used by anyone to maximize profit and prevent issues of market drastic change, issues of overexposure of money in the market. And the Bullrun strategy sits on its basis that one, wallet management. Wallet management is one of the perfect strategies that are seated on the Bullrun strategy if you want to be able to trade well with the crypto ambassadors and keep winning. And a wallet management sits on 3 major principles. One, find capital. Get your capital. If you have $100, trade one coin. When it wins, enter another one. If you have $200, trade 2 coins. When one wins, trade another one. If you have $300, trade 2 coins. Leave $100 unused. These 2 coins, if one sells, you have 2 in already. If one sells, trade another one. You have $300. You expose the first $100. You expose the second $100. You leave another $100 free unused. If you have $500, your choices increase because you can divide your capital into 2. If you are too greedy and you need too much profits rewards, or you could divide your $500 into 3. If you have 3, you can expose of 2 samples of your capital and leave 1 sample unused. And that is wallet management. If you have $1,000, the same thing, you could divide your capital into 2 if you are greedy, or you could divide your capital into 3. If you divide your capital into 3, you trade 2 coins and leave the balance of around $333 unused. You can also decide to divide your capital into 2 if you are greedy, and the maximum coins you can trade are 2. In all scenarios, the maximum trades you can trade are 2. If one sells, you enter another one. And that is when we talk about the Bullrun strategy. And that is basis number 1, wallet management. Basis number 2, give me a 1 in the chat if you have understood wallet management. It doesn't matter how much capital you have. The division of your capital is profound. The division of your capital is profound. And if you don't understand that, then you cannot trade with the crypto ambassadors when it comes to wallet management, because it is important. You should not get excited of how the market is doing. You should not get excited of how trades are winning. If you cannot manage your wallet, you cannot trade. Beautiful. Now let's go to our strategy, our 6 months tested and proven strategy. So if you want to use our strategy, you need to develop it. Okay? You need to develop it. You need to create it. And our strategy, when you come here and tap on mine, you need to go to my strategy setting and create the strategy. And write the strategy. Okay? And you create the strategy and you write the strategy so that when you are given a coin to trade, you don't go and set the coin again. You just use the strategy. Okay? So you go to your Royalq, then you tap on my strategy setting and create your strategy. So let's create our strategy depending on your capital. What are the steps? If you are new, you tap on the +1. If you are old, you tap on add now. If you are new, tap on add one. If you're old, tap on the +1. So the first step is to divide your capital. Okay, first step, you say, I have $1,000. I'm greedy enough, I'll divide my capital into 2, which means each signal will take a capital of $500. That's the maximum. That's the maximum you're going to expose. If you are less greedy, you divide your $1,000 into 3. And it means each coin you trade will be able to expose a maximum of $333. If you have understood this, if you have $100, just 1 coin. If $200, maximum 2 coins. You have $300, trade 2 coins. If one wins, you enter another one. If the 2 don't win today, the next morning, it's okay for you to enter with the remaining balance of the money. Give me 1 in the chat if that message is clear before I continue. Give me 1 in the chat, because if you don't understand that step, my rest of the sharing will not make any sense. My rest of, I'm going to share so many strategies today that could allow someone make a lot of money, but I want to start with the Bullrun strategy. I'll also share other tactics. I'm going to talk about other tactics. Okay. I'm also going to talk about other tactics. So you have divided your capital. Someone telling me to repeat. I don't know what you want me to repeat. Divide your capital. Okay. Divide your capital. $100, 1 coin. $200, 2 coins. That's the maximum you can trade. $300, you trade 2 coins, each with $100. Leave the $100 untouched. If those coins don't sell today, they don't move out of the market, the next day when we send signals, you have a balance of $100. Let the other 2 coins remain floating. Give me 1 in the chat if that is clear again. Give me a 2. So if your capital is $500, you have a choice. Use that same strategy. Either you divide your capital into 2 or you divide your capital into 3. If you divide your capital into 3, it's around $125. I trade signal 1 to expose that. 125, I trade signal 2 to expose that. If these 2 do not sell, the next day, I still have a balance of $125 untouched, so I could trade a new signal. Give me a 3 in the chat if you have understood that. So if you are greedy, you can divide your capital into 2. If you are not greedy, you could divide your capital into 3. It's up to you. Me, I don't come here with specifics. Someone says, me, I want you, you remain on 2. It is up to you. It is up to you. So now let's go to the strategy. Now you have said that I have $500. How are you going to expose this $500 coin? How? That's where the gist is. How are you going to expose this $500 in the coin? How are you going to expose this $500 in the coin? In our strategy, just a minute, guys. In our strategy, we say you get your capital, $500, whether you have divided your 2,000 into 1,000 or 100. or whatsoever you have, you get your $500 that you have decided for one trade and divide it by 6. And you divide by 6. The rest you are talking about, who you divide, it's up to you. I'm talking about crypto ambassador Bullrun strategy. It's up to you. The rest, of whether you divide with the margin calls you want, it's up to you. I'm talking about crypto ambassador Bullrun strategy. I'm not talking about how you use the robot. Whatever you are typing is up to you. I'm talking about crypto ambassador signals and crypto ambassador Bullrun strategy. Our strategy. The rest of what you talk about, what maybe other teams talk about, it's none of my business. By the way, I'm very serious about that. How other teams trade is none of my business. How they teach is none of my business. Because I see someone private chatting me, it's none of my business. What I'm talking about is the crypto ambassadors strategy. Our strategy, tested and proven for 6 months. Because we are different from other teams. We left areas of gambling, areas of thinking about, and we developed a strategy. And we're on step number 2. What are you supposed to do? Divide your capital into 6. So if maybe you have $1,000, you have decided to say you divide your capital into 2. What you will get is $500. Maybe you have $500. You have decided to say you divide your capital into 3. What you get? Now just take an example, $500. $500. I'll divide this $500 into 6, and I'll get $83. And I'll get $83. So $83 will be my first buying amount. Give me one in the chat if that is clear. Developing your first buying amount. Give me one in the chat if that is clear. Look at your capital management. You have managed your capital. You have been able to find out how much you want to expose per coin. Divide your capital by 6. It's the crypto ambassador Bullrun strategy. Someone is saying, what if me? It is up to you. I'm not here to discuss what if. I'm not here to discuss me, I want to do this. That is up to you. I'm talking about crypto ambassadors Bullrun strategy. That's what I'm talking about. So you have created 83. You come here on the margin call limit. What does this mean? Listen critically. As a good trader, the reason of trading is not to make money. And whoever comes to trade mindset of I want to make money, this trading is not for you. The reason of trading is to win a trade. And that's why in my third sharing, I'm going to talk about compounding. As the crypto ambassadors, our goal is not to collect too much profit on one trade. Our reason of trading is to win a trade. And our goal is to have so many trades we have won. That if I'm clear. Now, as a good trader, it is important for you to know. It's important for you to know. As a good trader, it's important for you to know that the first buying amount is just the first amount of money. Is just the first amount of money on your $500 that the robot is going to start with. It is also very important. It is also very important it is also very important to know that the balance of the money will be used by the robot if the market goes against you. So you have a balance of $417. If the market goes against you, the robot will use the $417. One, to inject it in the market, and two, to help you make more profit, and three, to help you get out of this coin faster. That is the importance of the balance. Give me a 2 in the chat if you have understood. Good. Beautiful. Now, as the crypto ambassadors on this strategy, we do not open double position. Because when you switch on open double position, the robot will be buying twice. So where it was going to go with $83, it will go twice. So we switch it off. As the crypto ambassador, switching on the AI margin call on our signals is a must. MUST. I'm talking about the Bullrun strategy. When you are setting your Bullrun strategy coins, switching on the AI margin call is a must. What does the AI margin call do? I'm going to explain it more details when I go to the margin configuration. Margin call limit. These are a number of times we want our robot to buy more when the market goes against us after it has bought the $83. So the number of margin calls are 5. Remember, the robot bought this plus this 5, which is equal to 6. If you have understood the reason why we create 6 margin calls, give me a 1 in the chart. Okay, let's continue. Whole position take profit, this one, and whole position take profit. This could vary from one coin to another. This could vary, okay? This could vary from one coin to another. depending on how much TP, because the signal will come on a TP. But I would recommend whether the take profit is 5%, whether the take profit is 10%, our take profit on our strategy is 3%. Unless the take profit given is less than 3%, that's when you can edit that and put maybe 1.5 or a 2.5. Then whole position take profit callback 0.1. Okay. Now, what does this mean? This means that when the market will rise by 3%, when the market will rise by 3% and try to come down by 0.2, the robot will sell and give you 3%. But on the other side, if this coin pumps to more than 3% and goes down any figure less than 0.1, the robot will not sell. For example, if the market rises by 3% and goes down by 0.01, the robot will not sell. It will wait for the market to drop by 0.1. That is when the robot will sell. That's when the robot will sell. Okay. Now, that I will explain, but I think I have. So it means when you set like this, you have an advantage that if the market does not drop by 0.1, the robot will not sell. It also has a disadvantage that when the market rises by 3% and hits 0.1, the robot will sell. Instead of you getting 0.3%, you get something like 2.9 as your profit. So that's a disadvantage. But because of the market change, because the market looks to be bullish, that's why we put a 0.1, so that if the market doesn't drop by 0, drops by 0, the robot doesn't sell, or anything less than 0.1, so that we have an advantage to make more than 3% of our take profit. Give me a 2 in the chat if you have understood that. Give me a 2 in the chat if I've understood. Next is the margin configuration. How do we want our robot to buy the 5 margin calls? How do we want our robot to buy the 5 margin calls? Okay. Now here we shall tap on margin configuration. And our margin calls are 5. Our Bullrun strategy, I will share so many strategies, but specifically strategy, our first call is 0.2. Our second call is 0.3. Our third call is 0.5. Our fourth call is 1. And our fifth call is 1. This is a total of 3%. A margin call drop has a maximum of only 3%. Then on the multiple buy-in ratio here, we only have a 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 1. So it means it will be 83 times 5. It will be 83 times 5. it is times 5, which is $415, plus the first $83, which gets capital that we had. So that is our strategy. Now, the question is, why is it that the margin call drop is not 10, 20, it's not 30? The answer is 1. I'll tap sure here, is that we switch on the AI margin call. Let me first fill in here the buying callback one and then explain. For example, when does the robot buy? When does the robot buy? When does the robot buy? Okay, so I'll tap you on margin configuration. When the market drops by 0.2, as an example, the robot will prepare to buy one time. That is our $83. But before it buys, the market drops by 0. The robot will wait for the buying callback. Once the buying callback is because the market will 0.1. So when the market drops by 0.2 and rises 0.1, the robot will buy. The robot will buy. That is what is supposed to happen. But because we switch on the AI margin call, when the market drops by 0.1 and rises, by 0.2 and rises by 0.1, the robot will not buy unless it confirms that this wheel market is on a reversal. That's why we don't need big drops. We are using the AI margin call. You have understood that? Give me a 3 in the chat. Where the signal comes with a 5% drop, where the signal comes with a 10% drop, where the signal comes with a 50% drop, as long as the AI margin call is on, as long as the AI margin call is on, everything is okay. The drop of 3% is enough. The signals come because the signals do not know that you have the AI margin call application on your board. That's done. Let me move on. The good thing, the meeting has been recorded. Now, we need to know that whatever the robot buys from call number 1 to call number 4, the take profit is this. But from call number 5 and going below, each call is independent, which means the robot could buy call number 5 and sell call number 5 alone. And that's why we have the distributed take profit allocation area here. This works from margin call number 5 and going below. And so the take profit, will leave it as it is. It's usually 1.3, which is okay. We have no issues with that. Then the sub-position take profit is 0.1, which means when the market will rise by 1.3 and fall by 0.1, the robot will sell margin call number 5. And that is the strategy. If you have understood how to create a strategy, give me a 5 in the chat. I want to go to a very important area, a very important area. Give me a 5 in the chat. If you have not understood, because I've taken too much time here, it requires you to rewatch this onto the YouTube channel until it gets into your mind. until it gets into your mind. All right. So let me go now to the next step. The next step is to get this strategy sit in all the coins you are trading, so that when they send you a signal, you just go to your board and put in the preset price and tap start. You don't need to go back and set the signal. So we have two ways. One, you come on home. Let me say the coin sent is called ADAX. You come on your home page. Let me say the coin given to you is AI. You come on your home page. If you are not seeing the coins, you come on your home page. If you are not seeing the coins you are supposed to trade, you come on your home page. If you don't see the coins you are supposed to trade, tap on the plus sign. Tap on the plus sign. When you tap on the plus sign, you are looking for the coin, but you cannot see. Tap on the plus sign. When you tap on the plus sign, tap on spot. When you tap on spot, come and tick all. Then you tap on add. Like today I've seen it work. So it means every day Royalq is adding in more coins. So they might send you a coin and you are not seeing it. Tap on plus, tap on spot, add all coins. That's very important. Next, when the coin has been sent to you, just come here on the search button. Tap on the search button. Let me say the coin sent to you is AI. You know, these days we are having a new generation of what we call real world assets. And in Royalq, we have a coin called the T. There's a coin called the T stroke USDT. It is a what? Where is it? Why is it not coming? T. Huh? Why is it not coming? Am I forgetting? But there is a coin in Royalq called T. I don't know why it's not coming, but I know it's there. Okay, I will not spend much time. It's a real world asset. Another one I think is it DAX? DUSK. Yeah, this one. These are real world assets. They have the biggest narrative in the market, so they are doing a little bit better than other tokens in the market space. T is here. Yes, I was looking for it. Now they send you a coin called the T. It's a real world asset. This one. And another one is this one. These two are real world assets. When we talk about real world assets, talking about tokenization of assets, things that are appearing in a real world. Things that are appearing in the real world being tokenized. Okay, things that are appearing in the real world being tokenized. Okay, but I'll not go into that. I'll not go into that. So you look for the name of the coin. So you tap on T. When you tap on T, you tap on understand. When you tap on understand, you tap create. When you tap create, you tap on Martingale strategy board. When you tap on Martingale strategy board, you tap create. Then you tap next below. Then it opens up. When it opens up, you just need to tap on trade setting, then choose a strategy, then you tap on the strategy you created. You need to note that sometimes the first buying amount doesn't change. So you change it back to what you want. Let me say $83, and then you save. If the coin you are trading has a preset price, you just come here on first preset buying price. You write the price. Let me say 0. 0.0002. Then you tap sure. And then you activate. Then you are done with setting the coin. If the coin doesn't have a preset price, you just tap on trade setting, choose a strategy setting, tap on your strategy, then change the first buying amount. Sorry, here, if they're saying 2.5, put 2%. If it is saying 1.5, you could sometimes lower the take profit, but don't make it greater, especially with signals of current price. Give me one in the chat if those steps are clear, because they've been a little bit long. So we send a signal for 5%, take 2%, especially when it is a current price signal. If they send a signal for 7%, take lower. Take lower. Don't take the exact take profit given, because sometimes you might be coming in late because it is a current price signal. Take a profit lesser than the profit given. For example, now there is a signal called re. It is saying 3%, take 2.5 or take 2%. Give me a 3 in the chat if also that message is clear. Take lesser profit. Take lesser profit. Give me one in the chat if that is clear. Good. Good, good. Thank you. A 3, a 1, beautiful. We move. Take lesser profit. Don't get excited with the 3%. Okay? If a signal is saying 2.5, take 2%. If a signal is saying 2%, take 1.5. Is that okay? All right. Now, having understood how to set the signal, the other next important space is compounding your money. Who's here and would like to make $1 million in this bull run? Who's here and would like to make $1 million in this bull run? You are here and you want to turn your $1,000 to $1 million. You want to turn your $100 to $100,000. Okay, it is important for you to know that your ability to do that is seated on 3 major factors. 1, a goal. Have a goal, have a plan, and have a strategy. That's what makes the crypto ambassadors unique. Have a goal, have a plan, and have a strategy. I want you to sit down and write the amount of money you want to make. That's the goal. Okay? That's the goal. That's the amount. Then look at the plan. What's the plan? The plan is to use our signals and then stick to the strategy. And the strategy is the ability to compound your money. Now, the steps are simple. If you're using an Android phone, go to your Google Play Store and download a compound interest calculator. There are so many, but this looked very easy for us to use. Tap on it, download it, and let it open. If you're using an iPhone, there is another one you could use. So what is your first buying amount? $83. How much take profit have you taken? 3%. How many days are you going to go into this? 300 days. Now, this has 2 formulas of approach. Formula 1, you could just follow the calculator. You enter this one, it wins. You enter this one, it wins. You enter this one, it wins. You give me one in the chat if I'm clear. You just follow the calculator. Give me one in the chat if I'm clear. You just follow the calculator, that is Formula 1. Formula 2, you look at the profit you have made that day. It is not days, they are trades. Those are not days, those are trades. That's just a calculator. Formula 2, you look at the profit you have made. For example, today I traded, let me use an example. Allow me stop sharing and I log into one account. I want to log into one account to show you what I mean. Let me log out on this account and I log into one account. I'm going to teach two formulas before I finish. Allow me log into this other account. This account is it's not owned by my daughter, but it's owned by my wife. Let me open it. Okay. Okay. Let me share. Okay, here's an account. Okay. All right. Okay, look here, guys. Look here. Sorry, a minute. Okay. Now I've told you the formulas are two. One, I can decide. Listen to me very clearly. For example, they have sent a signal called RE. I want to trade. Okay. I'll pick this coin. Sorry, guys. These are challenges you face with the traders when you give them coins. They want to check a check. Yeah, it could work out. Okay, so I'll pick up this coin called Ray. Now listen to me very clearly. And I tap on next, martingale strategy about next. And I'll come here, trade setting, choose a strategy. And the strategy is already here of $74. But the approach, we made $134 in profit. And we want to trade. So what we shall do, we are using two formulas and I'll share them here. I'll go $1,134. The capital that I want to expose plus the profit I made. Then I make sure, then I activate the robot. Listen to me very clearly. Then after, I'll come back and return this first buying amount to the number of trade where it is supposed to do. Or I will come back and return this first buying amount to a low amount. Let me go with $50, for example. Why did it not buy? I was very fast. 1, 1, 3, 4. I'm going to explain. She's saying sufficient balance. And the signal has already moved. Okay, these coins are still in, so I cannot trade anymore. Just giving an example. I'm just giving an example. Am I clear? Give me one in the chat if I'm clear. But I'm gonna make it, I want to make it more clear. It gets back to your capital, it gets back to, I don't know, but let me try again so that I create clarity. I know maybe because the account is not managed fully by me, sometimes my wife goes greedy, but it's up to her as long as she can be patient with the trades. It is up to her unless she can be patient with the trades. For example, now you need to be keen because what happened here with this trade is that the first buying amount returned it mistakenly to $500. And by the time she came back, if I open it up for you here, you see when the robot first started, let me just show it to you here so that you can see. With the first buying amount of $500, still the second buy was $500. Still the third buy was $500. So this brought her a challenge to be that now her capital is into one coin. She forgot to come back and change the first buying amount. Give me a 2 in the chat if you have seen that. Okay. So you need to be fast, either switch off the margin calls so that when the robot buys the first time, it does not come and buy your money again before you change the first buying amount. The capital and the profit is brought together. That is strategy number 2. You could just follow the calculator, or you could add the amount of money you want to expose as your first buying amount, plus the capital, plus the profit. Let the robot buy the first time, and then you change the first buying amount, depending on the amount of money you want to expose. Let me repeat it this way. Let me say I have $500. We divided and we got $83. It means I want my first buying amount to be $83. Give me one in the chat if I'm clear that. Give me one in the chat if I'm clear. So when the robot has bought this plus the profit of, let me say $10, which is now 93. After the robot has bought, I will come back and change the first buying amount back to $83. If you have understood, give me a 2 in the chat. If I bite my tongue about it. Now that is Formula 1. Formula 1, you can follow the calculator. Formula 2, get your capital and your profit to be your first buying amount as you are entering the second coin, and grow your money with that formula. Now, I want to teach a strategy that is very aggressive. How many people are here and you want to be very aggressive? How many people are here and you want to be very aggressive? How many people are here and you want to be very aggressive with the market? You want to be very aggressive. I want to teach you a risk management, but a very aggressive strategy. Okay? Look here. Look here, guys. I have $700. Listen to me. I have $700. Listen to me very clearly. I have $700. I will sacrifice $200. I don't care whether this $200 gets in floating loss or not. Give me one in the chat if I'm clear with that message. Give me one in the chat if I'm clear with that message. Give me one. I have $700. I will sacrifice $200. I don't care whether it gets in floating loss or not. I have $2,000. I'll get off $500. I don't care whether this $500 gets in floating loss or not. This formula is for people whose mindset is true, not for people who cry. If you're a crier, ignore this method. So I look at my capital and I say, I'm going to sacrifice. Remember, guys, you cannot sacrifice what you don't have. Give me a 2 in the chat if you want. I don't want someone with $100 to say I'm going to sacrifice. Someone $300, I'm talking about someone you have $500 and above. So you have your $500. You have $700. You can get off $200. You have $800. You can say you'll get off $300. You have $1,200. You can sacrifice $200. You have $5,000. You can say on this, I can sacrifice $1,000. Am I clear? Give me one in the chat if I'm clear. I have $2,500. I can go off $1,000. It is an aggressive strategy. But if you go in floating loss, it's none of my business. Give me a 2 in the chat if I'm clear. I don't want someone, floating loss, when I read that, come and help me, that, I have my money, look at me, no, I might want to do to sacrifice it. If you can't handle, ignore. Use the previous strategy I shared. If floating loss is none of your business, this works. Because, guys, I have a question. Because some of you may not understand me. Are these good profits? I have a question. Are these good profits? Are these good profits? Listen, I'm asking, are these good profits? If someone is trading, are these good profits? Now, the challenge you'll suffer with. Do you see how much is floating? Can you see how much is floating? But that doesn't kill the strategy. Now, the formula is here. For example, you look at your capital and find an amount you can sacrifice. For example, for her, she has a capital, I think, of around 2,000. Okay, it was, I think, around $2,500. And she's willing for her. Because for her, she's saying, she says she started with $1,000. The rest have been her profit. Give me one in the chat if the statement is clear. For her, she says she started with $1,000. The rest have been profit. So she doesn't care. So she's willing to remain with $1,000 for margin call. Is a poor wallet management strategy, but it works. So this is what she does. She gets her $1,500 plus the profit to be her first buying amount. Now, how do ranks come in play? How do ranks come in play? I think ranks don't play here. We are talking about trading. You might even be a V1. The challenge is that she uses my photo. but she's a middle broker. She's a middle broker. She's about to become a V3. She doesn't do the business. She does it part-time. You might even be a junior broker. You keep things, you keep on the strategy that I'm sharing. Ranks don't apply. We are talking about trading. We're not talking people by night. Okay, let's focus. So she picks $1,000, 500 plus the profit to be her first buying amount. Then she divides her $1,000 into 2, and the balance remains the first buying amount. Now listen critically. You pick 1,000 starts as an example. Listen to me. Pick the strategy, the Bullrun strategy. Come in here, put 1,500 plus the profit, which was 134, which is $1,634. That's the first formula. But behind her, she knows that she's using $1,000 for trading. A one in the chat if you have understood that. Give me one in the chat if you have understood that. It's highly risky, but it's working for her. Yeah, I'm just here to share. Then she knows in her mind that she uses $1,000 to trade. So it means that every signal she's supposed to expose off a maximum of $500. And divide this by 6, you get $83. So it means after the robot has bought, she will come and return this back to $83. Now, this coin might go in floating loss. Listen to me, guys. This coin might go in floating loss, but she still has a balance of $500. She will use the $500 to trade another coin and keep making little profit until the other coin will return. A 2 in the chat if you have understood that. She exposes the money. She returns back this to the money she's compound. She remains with the balance. She knows that she's having $500. This divided by 6 is 83. So before this coin delivers, I want to take you to her floating loss. Before this coin delivers, can you see the difference, guys? She will still be able to trade this coin as she waits for this to return. She will use the 500, the remaining balance to trade this coin as she waits this to return. Because when this returns, it will not return with less than $100. Am I clear? Let's get back to the profit so that someone can see. Can you see, guys? Coins traded with little capital will bring little profit, but you must be a person who doesn't care whether you are in floating loss or not. Am I clear? We are still using the Bullrun strategy. We are just changing the tactic. Am I clear? Find a capital you are willing to expose. Maybe you have $5,000 and you say, I'm willing to expose $2,000. I remain with my $3,000. Uzian is interested to make $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day. I've shared the strategy here. It is called the Super Bullrun strategy. It is called the Super Bullrun strategy. It is super, but it has issues with floating loss. Give me one in the chat if you understand what I mean. It has issues with floating loss. There might come a time and you float for a very long period of time in that particular coin. You stay there even for a month, but you are making little profits on this balance. You can decide to divide your capital into 3 if you can't handle, or divide your capital into 2 if you can handle. A 3 in the chat if you have learned something today. If floating loss is your issue, never try that at your home, because you will sweat. Never try that strategy on current price signals, because sometimes they are pumping signals. Give me a 0 in the chat if you have understood that. Never try that strategy on a current price signals, because in most cases they are pumping coins. Give me a 0 if you have understood that, because once they catch your money, you will sweat plasma. Too much of anything is always bad. I believe it's the right time for me to come to the end of my sharing today. I want to thank you for being an amazing audience. Anybody with a question about the new Royalq orientation? Anybody with a question?